Hello and welcome to the Cozy Colorful Corner. I love Lisa's new ad for Nike and SKIMS. It's very ballet inspired and looks very comfortable. Unfortunately, I looked up the pieces and they're out of my budget. Luckily, I know how to sew, so today I will be creating a look inspired by this particular outfit. I'll be turning this into a two-part series. The first I'm doing the leggings with the skirt, and part two I'll be doing the wrap top. So I love this look because it's very versatile. Obviously all together as a set, it's super cute. I can wear it to work. I can also separate the pieces and make lots of different looks. Another thing I love about this look is the skirt over the leggings. I'm a bit self-conscious with my booty being out, especially when I am teaching. So I love the idea of the wrap skirt. It just helps me mentally be more comfortable. Even when I'm attending ballet as a student, I don't like to just wear a leotard and tights. I like to have some sort of ballet wrap or shorts with that. Most of my ballet wraps are made with chiffon fabric, but this gave me the idea to actually try using a stretch knit fabric. Also, other than the money issue, I noticed most of the fabrics in this collection were more polyester. I'm trying to create a wardrobe that's more full of cottons and linens and more natural fibers. I'm doing this for a variety of reasons, but especially because I've had a lot of problems with acne on my back and parts of my body, and having polyester kind of aggravates that and makes it worse. So cotton fabric is really great at more absorbing sweat if I'm working out in class or as a teacher, and so I won't break out as much. So most workout clothing is made with polyester or lycra, and it's quite hard to find stuff that's not. So for the last several months, I've been really working on my natural fibers collection wardrobe of workout clothing. The fabric I'm using today is a cotton knit jersey stretch fabric. I just bought it online on Coupon. I do think this material was quite cheap. I'm not going to buy it again, and I'll show you why later as I'm sewing it. As I said before, I'm going to be making this a two-part series. This is also part of my Balletcore series, so if you want to see more, I will link that playlist in the description. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so, hit that bell, and you'll be notified when I release part 2. Also, if you subscribe, your seams will never rip. Don't look it up, it's proven fact. Now let's cut some fabric. First, I trace my pattern onto the fabric. I'm always using the most random things as pattern weights, so one of my next scrap fabric projects is to actually make some pattern weights. This is a pattern I've made through lots of trial and error to just see what fits me the most. But there are also a lot of great legging patterns online that you can find as well. I'm also cutting out a waistband for the leggings. Next, I'm cutting the pattern for the skirt. It's a half circle pattern. This is the same pattern that I made in my last video for my silk wrap skirt. I'll link that tutorial below. Then, to be on the safe side, I'm measuring longer than I think I actually want, so I'm doing a 17-inch long skirt. I'll probably end up cutting off some of the length, but I didn't want to cut it too short. I'd rather it be longer so that I can more easily fix it. Then I'm going to curve the edge at the front of the skirt, and I'm just going to eyeball that. And last but not least, I'm cutting 3-inch wide strips for the waistband of the skirt. Now on to sewing. With right sides together, I'm sewing the two front pieces together along the crotch line, and the same with the back two pieces along the crotch line. And I'm just going to do a 1/2-inch seam. Then I align the inseams together. To reduce the bulk at the crotch, I am putting the seams going different directions. I start at the crotch and sew all the way down to the ankle. Then I flip it over and do the exact same thing on the other leg. By going over the crotch twice this way, I'm essentially reinforcing that seam. Because this is a knit fabric, it has a tendency to curl, so I'm just taking my time and making sure it lies flat when it goes under the presser foot. And make sure you take out your pins before it goes under the presser foot so you never break your needle. And now it's time for a bobbin break. Whenever I run out of thread, I assume the universe is telling me to go drink some water. Sometimes when I get so into a project, I forget to take care of myself. Does this happen to you as well? I like to wind up 2 bobbins at a time, so the next time I run out, I have one already handy to load in. And I continue down the same leg seam. Also, I forgot to mention, make sure when you're sewing on a knit fabric, you're never using a straight seam. You're always using a knit stitch or something that's more zigzagged, so that it can stretch with the fabric. This is especially important with leggings that receive a lot of high stress in the seam area. Nobody wants the back to pop open when you're in the middle of a yoga move. Also, to reinforce my seams, I'm going to use my serger. Of course, if you don't have one, you can always just use a zigzag stitch on your home machine. I got really lucky/unlucky. I had white threads in my serger, and before I switched them over to a darker color for my current project, I took a minute to take in some leggings I had previously made. This is when I realized it was creating holes in my fabric. Technically, when you're sewing knit fabric, you need to use a machine needle that is for knit fabric. The edge of it is generally more blunt so that it doesn't pierce the fabric and create holes like this. For some reason, on my just regular sewing machine, it was fine with just using an all-purpose needle, but the same needles on my serger were creating these terrible holes. So I finally decided to put in an order, and I waited till the next day when I got my new needles. So I don't think I can wear these leggings anymore, but lessons learned. But my story doesn't end there. I changed the needles, but it still created horrible holes in my current project. I used a size 11 needle, so maybe it's not the correct size. I need to go smaller or bigger, but anyways, my leggings ended up being unwearable. I'll still show you the process of how I made them though, because it's the same that I used for my other ones, and they turned out great. So I'll at the end be showing you my black leggings I made. I've concluded that maybe this was just really cheap fabric. I did get it super discounted online. My other leggings I've made with the exact same methods didn't have this issue. Onto the legging waistband. I'm creating leggings with this V shape in the front. I think it makes it more interesting and it's really pretty. First, I fold the waistband in half, and then I'm going to cross them on top of each other, and I just did a stay stitch just on that front part there, so it doesn't move around when I attach it to the legging. I pin my waistband onto my leggings, making sure the front is with the front seam and the back is lined up with the back. Unfortunately, also, this fabric didn't have as much stretch as I was expecting, so I went back and made my leggings bigger and recut and resewed it. And here's what it looks like stitched on. For the skirt, first I'm creating a lettuce hem all along the bottom. Then I'm pinning the waistband right sides together and sewing that up. Then on the very edges of the ribbon part of the waistband, I fold over and stitch them. Then I go down the length of the waistband all the way to where the waistband meets the skirt part. But I'm leaving that open for now because I'm going to iron it and then press it down and sew it. Here I'm turning it out. Then onto my iron. I'm going to press the skirt seam into the waistband. Then you can see at the other end of the waistband, I'm folding a 1/4 inch and pressing, then pressing the whole waistband in half and pinning that together. While I'm here, I'm just going to also press those ties. And very last, I'm going to stitch that down. You could use a method here called stitch in the ditch, but I don't really mind. I'm just going to do it right on the waistband line. I do not have enough room to pirouette in my house. So here's the finished skirt and leggings. Again, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to wear these leggings, maybe around the house until the butt pops open. I did leave this a bit longer than in the picture, but I'm actually really loving this lettuce hem. I used to be a lettuce hem hater in the past, but I'm warming up to it. I also left my ties super long because I like the look of it. So what do we think? Here's some variations of things I've made using the same pattern. First of all, you can cut it, make it shorter. These are super comfy. Here's my black ones with the V. These are a really nice material. I wear these constantly. Also, the way it's designed with this V in the front, it doesn't need to have an elastic, so it's even more comfortable. But for days I want to feel snatched, I do have one that I put a thick elastic waistband on. And I've also made these to wear under dresses for in spring when it's still too cold to go bare-legged. And also, if you just cut only the leg part, you can make some nice leg warmers. And on these ones, I left a few inches open at the bottom, and I can put my heel through that. These are so great to wear in class over your tights. And here's a second pair of that I'm making. I just need to hem, and these are finished. So what do you think? I definitely need to see how much fabric I have, and because I want this in black as well, so I can put it over my black leggings. To be honest, I just want to buy all the fabric so I can make all the colors. It's so comfortable. And I think this will be really cute if I wear it with like shorts later. And just wear it out and about. Thanks so much for watching all the way to the end. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please do so that your seams don't rip. Don't look that up, it's definitely proven by science. And happy sewing!